Welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play Podcast, your daily dose of strategies, insights, and action steps to grow your business and build your freedom. It's time to stop playing small and start making power plays.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play Podcast. I am your host, Valerie Walton, and co-founder of Profitpreneur. And today, I'm really excited, not just because it's Monday, which means it's commission payday for us, but also because our guest today is Kim Ward, and she knows exactly how to help you build a business and a lifestyle that feels peaceful, profitable, and on purpose. So, recognized also by MSN as one of the top 10 influential entrepreneurs of 2025, as well as also being a four-time best-selling author. She's a podcast host. She is the queen of Pinterest, and I'm going to be picking her brain for some more info about that. And she is the powerhouse entrepreneur who has built a business profitable enough to even retire her husband. So today, Kim is breaking down perfect average day. And I can't wait to see what this is about. I got my notes ready, and I'm gonna try to give y'all notes too. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So without further ado, let's welcome Kim Ward. Hey, Kim.
You had me at payday.
Right?
Not gonna lie.
Yes.
Good morning.
So excited. All right, you ready to go?
Too. Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks,
I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
Okay, girl. See you soon.
All right.
Truth be told, I was really late getting today's title to Valerie and Sunny. I was laying in bed last night, just kind of crinkling my toes and reflecting on the past week and what's happened in my personal life and how that affects the business life. And I really quickly remember a mentor who she brought in an incredible woman who, unfortunately, she has since passed away, Melanie, God love her. And she taught us about this perfect average day. I really, really wanted to lean in because you were on my heart last night as I was going through this waffle brain, asking myself, what's impactful right now? What can help our fellow friends, our fellow entrepreneurs, our profitpreneurs, if you will? And the perfect average day really bubbled up in my heart and in my soul. And I said, let's do it. When, for my family, my daughter is 10. And we've had last year, one of her school teachers literally leaned into my husband and I and said, will you adopt me? And we just chuckled, and we knew it was because she's watching our social media. She had seen my daughter learn how to snorkel in Puerto Rico. They had seen us take my dad and travel over to London. And, my daughter bought a full-blown princess gown from a real castle from London. And it's like she got to wear that back home as her Halloween costume. And my point is, everybody always sees your highlight reels. When you're looking at other people's highlight reels being like, dang, man, they got the life, right? I'm guilty of it. I know you've done it. And I know people have looked at my life and your life and said, wow, how amazing. And that's when they're looking at those beautiful highlight reels. And I'm going to be so real with you today. Those highlight reels, for many of us, I'm not saying that they're far and few between, but it's not the norm. Let's normalize authenticity. And so I started thinking, yeah, there's the highlight reels. Traveling first class, going to Puerto Rico, going on the cruise ships, going to London, doing what we do. Do people really know what goes on in your life when it feels like the opposite of those moments? When you're asking yourself, do I have another hustle in me? Am I doing the right thing? when the worry and the fear creeps in, when the resentment of being a caregiver creeps in. I'm not going to lie, the last 8 months of going through my dad's cancer journey have been incredibly draining on me, right? And so when I'm here and I'm in the house and I am not an emotional person, I don't cry well. I actually don't. When I cry, it means I'm at the boiling point where I'm so mad or I'm so stressed that I can't do anything else but burst into tears. My husband knows it's like catastrophic. But those moments of me bawling my eyes out because no one in my mind, right? No one on the planet understands what I'm going through as a caregiver, how I'm sacrificing time, sanity, business. Those low moments, those are your blooper reels that no one really gets to see except the small, intimate circle around you. And so we're either here or we're here, right? But we want to show everybody we're always up. We're always good. We're always traveling and living the bougie lifestyle, when the fear, the uncertainty, the things creep in that pull you down. And now you've got discrepancy. So when someone asked me, great, the highlight reels are great. The trips, the things, it's all great, right? The skydiving. What is the perfect average Tuesday look like to you? Because that's really the life that we're interested in creating. And so if you're driving, don't do this. But if you're not, I want you to find a chair or sit comfortably with your feet planted on the floor. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for a moment. And as I'm talking you through this, imagine that there's a root growing out of the bottom of your feet, going down through your house into the soil. And you can feel the cool soil, the cool earth. And the root just keeps growing deeper. And now you get to decide, when you wake up in the morning, what does that look like? What time is it? What do the sheets feel like? Who's next to you? Are you waking up to an alarm clock, or just naturally waking up in the morning, the sun shining, the birds chirping, maybe a light breeze blowing your curtains? And what do you do when you get up? Are you going for a run or to exercise? Are you getting up to eat a breakfast? If so, what are you eating? What are you listening to? Who are you with? And after breakfast, where do you go from there? Do you go shower? Do you head right to work? And I want you to play this day out in your mind as you're grounding, as the root is touching the earth, and you could feel the soil. And you're creating this perfect average day. Now that you're at work, are you in hustle mode? Or are you working with ease and intentionality? What kind of clients do you have, or customers do you have? The kind that respect you and your time and your boundaries, and know your value and know your worth. And then it's time for lunch. Do you go out? Do you stay home? Are you eating on the back porch, enjoying nature? And what are you eating? Is it time to go back to work? Or is it time to run some errands after lunch? I want you to really discover what this perfect average day looks like, feels like, smells like, up until the moment you put your head on your pillow that night. And it is in between the highlight and the blooper reels that you get to create this perfect average day for yourself. You can open your eyes, and the root is restoring back to your feet. But I do want you to finish this for yourself and play out, what does this day look like? Good morning. See, there's many times where, because I have retired my husband, our daughter's at school, Rich will pop in. I send him my schedule every morning. We have a great system. That way he knows, hey, these times I'm on a Zoom or I'm on a meeting, like don't pop in. And he respects the calendar and the schedule. And then he knows like, hey, you haven't eaten. It's time to eat now. Or do you want to go in the hot tub? Or do you want to go for a walk and walk in nature? Or, hey, you want to run down to the new restaurant that just opened up and grab a bite to eat today? I see that your afternoon is empty. And I honestly used to get annoyed that he'd pop in and be like, want to go in the hot tub? And I'm like, ugh, I'm creating a funnel, fool. I'm writing an email sequence. And then I stopped and I remembered the perfect average day. And I said, these are the moments in between the highlights and the bloopers that you get to create with every piece of content, with every new funnel, with every email sent, with every course created, whatever it is that your business life looks like. And that's why for some of us, we're looking for the big vision, the $100,000 year that we want to have. That's all fine and dandy. Money's a tool. It's a learnable skill. You can always make more. But what's your perfect average day look like? Are you living that? Or are you in the process of creating that? Over the last few days, I had the ability to bring my dad into Nashville, where he underwent a major surgery at the age of 70, where they were telling us like, he's very high risk. He's high risk for this. He's high risk for that. He's high risk for everything. And I had my laptop and I was able to reframe any angst, any potential resentment, anger, right? Any of those lower vibe, negative emotions that we don't want to carry. And my story isn't your story, right? But I know we all have things in our lives that we feel are preventing us from not only reaching that big, audacious goal that you have, but the most important part is living your perfect average day. And I had my laptop, I had my charging stations, I had the cafeteria down the hall, and I thought, how incredible. This is maybe not perfect, but it's an average day that I get to live because I've made the decisions to create my life by design that allows me to be here. And I ended up being in the hospital for 14 hours that day. But I cranked out a new training, got some work done, connected with some friends, and realized this is why we do what we do. It's part of the average day that we get to create, perfect or otherwise. And so instead of looking, or maybe in addition to looking at the big goals, the big dreams, the big bucket list, do those things. What does your perfect average day look like? And remember this today as you're networking, as you're creating your video, as you're creating your content with intentionality, that each action step, each moment is helping you craft the day that you get to live in between the amazing highlights and, unfortunately, the lower, non-ideal moments in life that are going to come. And we take it with stride and with confidence, knowing it's just a blip, it's just a season, because I'm creating my perfect average day. And how great that tomorrow is Tuesday, and you get to wake up and decide, how am I waking up today? And make the decisions. And if you feel like you're lacking that choice and the ability to make those decisions in your moments, in your day, start choosing a way to create them. Little by little, day by day, you'll chip away, you'll evolve, you'll grow. One good decision after another leads to you creating your life by design, which is your perfect average day. And I would love for you to share with us, what does that day look like? What does that day feel like? And we're behind you, cheering you on as you create it. And the Profitpreneur community is a fabulous, fabulous place to help you create that perfect average day. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hey, Jeff Beeman, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, hey Jeff.
Welcome
my
back.
gosh. Really, 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 really good. It's very interesting because as you're talking, I'm taking away so much stuff here. One of the things you mentioned about, like, being on your laptop and reframing.
Yes.
I cannot tell you. There's there's so much stuff that even for me personally, I have still going on. Things are getting better, but I think it has a lot to do with that. It's reframing it. It's releasing these burdens, these fears, these doubts, these worries, the angst, the anxiety,
Yep.
and reframing it into something more positive. It is the way that we adjust our frequency to that life of abundance and love and money. Like, all of that is on those higher frequencies, and it's really
Yes.
important to be able to adjust the knob, and you do that by reframing. So I love that you said that. I was just praying about that kind of stuff this morning. So that's cool.
Oh,
And then the average day, you guys, it's interesting because the average day for me is something that I'm able to live now, right? And the way that my family lives, like, most people don't believe us because they're like, there's no way you guys are doing that. But we do. We have a lot of fun. Everybody works from home. So an average day is, I'm the early bird. I get up, and I do my workouts. Finally, I'm back on workouts. My meditations, and prayer, and then going into getting ready for the podcast now, getting ready for the day. We only work for a few hours, and then we have some family time, and then we have some husband and wife time. We got Bible study time. We got just time to just chill, watch TV, play a family game, do a board
legit.
game.
Same in my house. Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and I know a lot of people, they're tired of getting up, go to work, right? You got to commute. That takes up time. And all this time that they wish they were spending with their family, they're spending it to earn the money to afford to be with the family, but you still don't have the time
Yes.
to be with the family. So it can be so overwhelming. It can be so frustrating. And just like Kim said, you guys, that is one of the reasons why we created the Profitpreneur. Our values are very deeply rooted in family. My dad, may he rest in peace, he was always a family man, and always wanted all of us to feel close, growing up. So that is something that I carry with me. So this is more than just, and I know Kim can agree, but this is more than just let's go out and make some money. There's purpose behind it. There's intention behind it. We're looking to be there with and for the people that we care about. Could you imagine if Kim couldn't be there for her father because her boss said no?
I
She's
said
got to
that
go
to
to
him
work.
as we were driving. I'm like, can you imagine? I said, I don't know what you would have done. He hasn't driven on the highway in about 20 years. He won't
Mhm.
drive on the highway,
Mhm.
and it's so far away that my husband can't be there and be here for our daughter when she gets to and from school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, options are very limited.
Yeah.
And thank God we were able to create a life that provides this ability. So these are the
Yeah.
moments where it's like, okay, this might be an average day. And even when we have the bougie experiences where we're
Yeah.
out and someone will reach out, and I'm sure they do this to you too, where it's like someone will message you and go, hey, are you traveling for business or for pleasure? And I always say, what's the difference?
Right.
I bring my family with me so they can go hang out by the pool and do their thing. And and then we meet up, and it's like,
Yep.
you blend your life and your business so that you have your perfect average day
Oh, for
with those
sure.
highlight moments in between.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally look at my business as a part of my life and not separate from it. Because it's the thing you do, it's one of those things that you do. And when you're operating a business that is in alignment with who you are and your core values and how you see the world, it's very difficult to look at it any other way.
Yep.
It's that's how you do it. And I love that you had even, thought about that yourself with your dad, because there are so many people who cannot do that. And I thought about that, the last week that my father was alive. I had a couple of family members that called me and said, your dad had been asking for you. Now imagine me not being able to do what we did. Sonny and I just dropped everything and just got the next plane out and flew across the country to go see him. Imagine the feeling of dread if I had not done that, if I was not allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
People, we have to think about, those moments of what happens when somebody you love needs you. What happens when you really want to be there? Who has the control over your life? Where do you get the power back from? This could be one of those ways. And it's just so very important to not only think about, but actually take some action on. And one last thing I'll say, Kim, I actually had someone the other day, just yesterday, tell me, well, I haven't been as active as I had been. And I think I might just, kind of bow out. And what I'm hoping that person sees this podcast because this is another reason why it's important to picture your perfect average day.
Yep.
Everything is not going to be the highlight. Like Kim said, you're not going to show up strong every day and powerful every day. Even me.
Nope.
It looks like it sometimes for me,
Yeah.
but that is not the case. Same for Kim.
That's what I'm
Right?
saying. We look at everyone's highlight and be like, they have it all together. They're so strong. They're so
Yeah.
consistent. They're so cut your noise.
Even my sister-in-law, last week, I was talking to her and she was like, yeah, you and your brother, my husband, you guys always seem to have it together. You always have a plan. You always have a solution. And I'm like, that is true, but we don't always have it together. But yeah, don't beat yourself up. And I want this person to hear it, but because I didn't get permission and she didn't say this publicly, she'll know who I'm talking to. But I want you to know it's okay. It is okay that you're not at the top and on the top of your game every single day.
Oh, for sure.
But what about the average? Because if you look at your lifespan, you look at the lifespan of your business over time, is those couple of days that you weren't active really going to matter? Or is it you coming back into it, getting refocused, asking for help? And that's something I also stated. I said, listen, I'm here. My door is always open. If you need me, let's create the average for you. What is the perfect average? Let's do that. I mean, I didn't say those words yesterday, but hopefully you get it now. So yeah, it's like really think about that, because consistency is not so much about showing up every single day, all day long. The consistency is about how often you're going to get back into things. How often are you going to not give up on yourself? How often are you going to show yourself love?
Mm-hmm.
Show yourself love first, and then you also give love to other people after, through what you do in your business. If you start looking at things like that, you will start to see a transformation. Things become easier, you become more consistent, and you feel good about it when your head hits the pillow every night. You know,
So good.
All
I feel
right.
it.
So let me go ahead and close it out. You guys, your perfect average day isn't about perfection at all. It's about peace and presence and priorities that align with your purpose. So when you start designing your days with intention, like Kim has been mentioning today, your business starts reflecting the life you actually want and not the one you're constantly trying to escape. Trust me, I know. I remember when my husband and I were discussing getting married and what our lives were going to look like, and now we're living it, and it's such a blessing. So but it took building those days of intention. Okay, so inside the Profitpreneur membership, we help you to build the systems, strategies, and income streams that support the lifestyle you were meant to live. So go ahead, start your 14-day trial today, because I have an announcement. It won't be free too much longer. That trial is still going to be 14 days, but it won't be $0 anymore. So if I were you, I would get in while the link still works for it to be free. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. Okay. Because your business should fund your peace and not fight against it.
Okay.
All right. So thank you guys so much for hanging with us. Be right on back here, same time tomorrow, same channel. We look forward to seeing you again.
Bye.